Poole's Corner Racing Garage right here in Chatham, Ontario, Canada. Come on in. This is where the artist works. I mean, you've seen people painting inside their basements, in their attics, wherever. Well, this is where the artist Barrie Poole works. He builds the finest Ford racing engines in all of Canada. Is that right, Barrie?
Matter of opinion.
Barrie, how are you doing? Good to see you. Come on in here, folks, and meet Barrie Poole. Barrie Poole, as I said, is the former pro stock. First time you won a super stock title was when?
1970.
1970. Whoa, Barrie.
Pomona, California.
Pomona, California. That's 33 years ago.
Yes, that's a long time ago.
Right.
It has become ancient history now.
That's become ancient history, but you're still in the record books. And this automobile right here, come on over here. What's this? Tell us about this one right here.
Well, this is a 69 Mustang Cobra Jet that we raced in super stock. And that is the car that I won Pomona with in 1970 and again in 1971.
And what cubic inch motor did you have in that there?
That's a 428 Cobra Jet.
428 Cobra Jet. What were your times back then?
Low 11s, 1120s in that range.
That's a good trick.
It was pretty quick back then.
Yeah. So what do you got you going here? I understand you got a brand new car that you've been working on for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I've got an 85 Thunderbird that I built for super stock. It's a super stock GTE car. It's a 4-speed car, of course. And it runs a 1974 Lincoln 460 engine.
Wow. And of course that automobile isn't here today, but we are going to be getting a look at it a little later on in the program. We're going to be showing you Barrie's new Thunderbird. But yeah, I see you got some motors here. What's going on here now, Barrie?
I'm building some engines mostly for friends of mine, mostly for street use, performance street use. This one here is a 351 Ford with a stroker crank in it. It'll be 408 cubic inches. And this one over here, Shudder the Thought, is a small block Chevrolet that I just finished building.
Shudder the Thought. Now, you got to understand why Barrie says that for you Chevy folks out there. Barrie is a dedicated Ford fan and does nothing but build the best Ford motor engines in Canada. So this is kind of an oddball in here, but you do a good job on these, right, Barrie?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the best I can.
When this motor goes out there, you do guarantee that it's going to run.
Yeah, it's going to be a good engine.
There's no prejudice here. Okay, good. Well, that's good. All of a sudden, Barrie, I look around here, there's a lot of things that have been happening here. I mean, all winter, this is where you spend the time. This is where you build your engines.
This is where I spend most of my time, winter and summer.
Now, you used to race snowmobiles as well?
Yes, I did. I quit racing about 1985.
Yeah, I remember because you built me a wheelbarrow. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That wheelbarrow we pushed across Canada. Well, we have that wheelbarrow.
That's right, yeah.
We still have that wheelbarrow. Believe it or not, we have people in California right now that are interested in possibly doing something in California. So it's still there, handmade by you.
Good.
Right there in California. So
I had forgotten about it.
yeah, we pushed that. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to take a short break for 1 second. Hi, welcome back to Advent Riders Video Magazine. Today we're back at St. Thomas Dragway for the first time in over 30 years. I remember back in 1968 I used to run my Z28 on this particular drag strip right here in St. Thomas. But today we're back with Barrie Poole. Barrie Poole, as you know, is the first Canadian to win a Superstock title in Pomona, California. Today he's here testing his Thunderbird, which he just put together this past winter. And so we're going to watch Barrie make a few runs and watch how he tunes up his T-Bird right here today, right here at St. Thomas Dragway. Welcome back to Advent Riders Video Magazine. This is the same program but a different day. Today we're in St. Thomas, Ontario at St. Thomas Dragway with Barrie Poole, the former Superstock title holder out of California back in 1972. As you mentioned in our program the other night, that Barrie is the first Canadian ever to win a Superstock title. And today we're here at the Dragway testing his new car that he just built, a 1984 Thunderbird with a big 460 cubic inch engine in it. So let's check it out and see what's going down right down here at St. Thomas Dragway. Right now, Barrie's doing the jetting. This is Tom right here. Tom, what's going on here right now?
we're just trying to get the right combination there. This carburetor is so finicky. That's all new combination.
You didn't put the big carburetor on yet, do you? So it's very simple.
No, this is one we got to run, so we're going to try and get it figured out. But, I think just in the last 2-3 weekends, we've changed everything. Last night, I changed the whole new ignition system. We didn't know if it was ignition or carburetor. It looks like it's coming down. But it's still doing what it was supposed to do. But, well, it's got to play around. Yeah, hopefully we'll get a tooth.
Oh yeah, Barry will get the bugs out of it.
Just lightly. That's holding it open. We'll have to go forward with it.
Christmas tree right here. This is where races are won or lost. If you go too fast, you're red light. So your time is, let your clutch out just about here, that turns green, and you're ready to go. With that big carburetor. I'll tell you, that was an awesome run, Barry. You never missed a beat. Woo! You were gone, and she ran 110%. You could hear there wasn't a miss in that motor. What that motor means is a good carburetor.
That's right.
What was your time on that one there?
10:31, 132.
1031 at 132 mile an hour, and the car really hasn't had all the bugs out of it yet. So as you can see,
That's the first run on that.
and that's the first run on that big carburetor. Out of that hole, you were gone. It didn't miss a beat, Barry. That was an awesome run.
Missed that time.
No, it didn't miss, and it wasn't a real hard launch either.
No, I mean,
it was only a 141, which is better than what you get, but it's still not what it should be.
Hey, I'll tell you, that thing's going to run strong, man. That carburetor, what a difference. You should have heard it coming out of that hole. The beat is smooth, gone.
It was a lot nicer doing the burnout too.
Yeah,
the other carburetor.
the burnout was smooth. Yeah.
Now we got some
This is my weather station. This is not a sophisticated weather station like most guys have. Pretty near everybody now has like a computer that they dial all the numbers into. But this is a basic setup. It gives the barometer, the temperature, and the humidity. The most important of those three items is the barometer. It has the biggest effect on the performance. If the barometer is low, it doesn't matter how cool it is or how low the humidity is, the performance is not going to be real good. If the barometer is high, even if it's hot and the humidity is high, the car will still run reasonably good. And this dial, you set the barometer reading on the dial, and there's a scale here. You set the temperature and the humidity on, and it gives you a reading of the altitude, the adjusted altitude on this particular day under these conditions.
What adjustments do you have to make then if there's a change in the barometer?
Well, mostly what we want it for is to tell what to dial in at. You know that the car is going to run slower if the air gets worse. If we started out this morning and the air was 2,000 feet, and then this afternoon when we start the race it's 2,800 feet, we know the car is not going to go as quick. So we can make a bit of an educated guess as to how much less to dial the car in at.
So there's far more to drag racing than just putting your foot on the gas.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, thank you. Are you getting in for another run?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Well, I switched back over to my MSD ignition system.
And
So we want to make sure everything is working okay there.
You're going to leave the big carburetor on?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Folks, we hope you enjoyed this edition of Advent Riders Video Magazine here in Canada at St. Thomas Dragway with my good friend Barrie Poole. Now Barrie, on Sunday you're going to be in church.
That's right.
Amen. And one thing I appreciate about Barrie is what I said yesterday, cleanliness is next to godliness. And I'll tell you, this Thunderbird is immaculate. And I'll tell you, it ran beautiful today after making some adjustments. So you're happy with the run you had today?
Yes, the last two runs were were very good. They gave us an idea of where we had to work on the car. The carburetor that I put on the car is not the one that I can legally run in this class, but at least it tells me that the carburetor that I had on there was giving me a problem, and I need to do something different to make it work.
Well, one thing you did learn is that that big block needs lots of fuel.
And air.
And air, fuel and air. So another thing, Barrie, you know, as I look here, what you're doing here, God's blessed you with a talent to build racing engines. Now, I know you've got a favorite Bible text. Why don't you share that with us as we close? And remember this, friends, if God has given you a talent, use it to glorify Him. And you'd be surprised what God can do through you if you're willing to live that lifestyle that He has for us. Back in the old days, people went to church in a horse and buggy. Now we go to church with 400 horsepower, Barrie. So I think we need to make some adjustments as Christians on how to reach the community for Christ. So Barrie, what's your favorite Bible text?
Well, I have a lot of favorite Bible texts. Probably one of the most appropriate now, it's going to be different than what I said, is John 3:16, for God so loved the world that He gave His only Son. I think the most amazing thing of all is that God loved a sinner like me.
Amen. I like what Barrie said. God loved a sinner like me. I'll tell you, if it wasn't for the righteousness by faith and Christ's sacrifice on Calvary, we would not be able to enjoy the things we enjoy here today. And remember, God says, I am come that they might have life and have it more abundantly. Now, if you're a gardener, fine. If you like nature, fine. If you like drag racing, that's good too. But do it safely, trust in God, and He'll see you through. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Barrie, thanks for being on our program today.
Amen.
And keep Barrie in your prayers when he's out there letting that Thunderbird roll for the Lord. Amen. God bless you. Thank you. Favorite car right there, the yellow. I love the color. I'm a yellow man. That sounds good.
It's pretty not that noisy. It's not that noisy when you bring it out.
Sounds good, Ernie.
Good picture of me and the dog.
What's your dog's name?
Rex. Come here.
Rex, there you go, Rex.
Up, up, up.
Nice dog.
Yeah.
Really nice. Hey Rex, how you doing, buddy?
Rex. Home.
Rex, come here, take your picture. How you doing, buddy? Woof, 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 woof. Nice doggy.
His brother.
Yeah.